Okay, this screencast is an introduction to creating a query in Microsoft Access and also looking at how you do basic criteria. So my first query that I want to create is based on my volunteers table. And at the moment, if I look on my volunteers table, I can see all of the information about the volunteers, and I can see whether they are specialists or not. And actually, I want to have a list of those that are specialists, so I can create a query that gives me the important information about my volunteers and whether they are specialists or not. So I'm just going to close down that table. And to create a query, go to the Create tab at the top, and you always use Query Design to create your query. So the information that I need is held in my volunteers table. So I'm going to click on Volunteers and click Add, and then click on Close. This gives me all the available fields in my volunteers table. So I just want to see those that are specialists. I'm going to grab the volunteer ID and drag that down to my grid at the bottom. That's the first thing I want to see. Then first name, and then surname, last name. I want to see whether they are specialists or not, and I want to have their email so I can contact them if they are specialists. So I've just chosen a selection there of 5 fields from my table. If I run my query now, I'll see that I've got information about all of the volunteers, but just those 5 fields that I've selected. But as I said, I only want to see those that are specialists that have got a tick in that specialist box. So I'm going to go back to my design view here, and in my criteria row, under specialist, I'm going to type in yes. That's the equivalent to a tick, and then just click away into another box. Now if I run my query, I should only get those volunteers that are specialists. So that's how you create a query and you specify some criteria. Just chosen 5 fields and those volunteers that are specialists. So that's your basics for creating a query. So once you've completed your query, you need to save it. So if you click on the disk icon, the save icon at the top, and you give your query a name, and we're going to start with QRY to say it's a query, and this one is specialist volunteers. Click OK, and there's my query saved on the left hand side there.